Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be starting off the new series, Improving Your Logos. This episode is probably not going to be a big episode considering I've only actually got a couple of logos to improve. I did get more than obviously 2 submissions, but I just felt like majority of the logos that were submitted were kind of good enough and didn't really need to be improved. But hopefully as the series carries on, these episodes can be longer and longer because more and more people will submit their work and I can kind of get a better bunch. So yeah, we are just going to be working on 2 today. Okay, so the first logo that was submitted was by Chris Dumbbell Fitness, who is a personal trainer. I don't think his surname is Dumbbell, I think that's just to be fitness related, so we'll just call him Chris. My first thoughts on your logo is that it's very trustworthy. The selection of blues that you've used in your logo, yeah, they're very trusting and very powerful. I do feel like you maybe have used way too many blues though. Like you could probably get away with using 2 to 3 blues and still having the same shadowy effect that you've got going on here. So yeah, I do think that using like your 5 different shades of blue that you've got kind of going on here is just unnecessary, and we could probably pull off the same idea simplifying that. So we're actually going to take the shape that is his C and his D, and we're going to take that apart and dissect that. We're going to flip that shape to make the D that he's got going on and place it nicely. We're going to send that to the back, and I feel like that has simplified the logo already just by using them 3 colours. So hopefully you can get what I mean by you using all these different shades of blue. It's just completely unnecessary. I do feel as if the icon was standard by itself, then maybe it could pass as a letter S, and it does kind of give some confusion with your logo. So I think our challenge to improve your logo is to make sure that people read your logo and instantly see a C and a D. I feel like if we get these 2 shapes that you've got going on your original logo, we can get the shape builder tool and we can cut that out, and that gives us a nice C. And we can just follow the same blueprint as before, as flipping this into a D and then getting this colour here and making our effects there, and then taking the D and making that into that colour. So we can just follow the same blueprint, just using a different shape, and that already stands out 100 times better. So yeah, using the same blueprint from your logo, I feel like we've simplified it a bit more. Just made it more clear that it is a C and a D. One more thing that I do want to try though is just making these 2 letters here just a tad thicker, and then just doing the same thing we've done with the other 2. So we've got our thicker C here, and we want to just do the same as we've done before. Maybe bring it in, make it that colour there, pull it behind. Grab this darker blue here and then just make our shadows. I feel like that one actually does stand out the most, because this one we can't really tell if it's a C or a D. It's just too solid. The second one, if we actually zoom in, I can show you what I don't like about this one. I feel like when I'm about to put this rectangle here, it doesn't really flow that well. So yeah, I do actually like the third one that we've come up with here, with the C and the D, and it is just using the same idea that you've had, but just using different shapes and then just following the same blueprint. Now we're actually going to try and make the type a little bit better. One thing that's kind of moved on from logos as well is people having their type all caps. That's kind of like moved on now. It's not really a thing, and I just feel like we need to like make it more modern. So we get that there and we just pull it in lowercase. You can see it just brings it to life so much more and just makes it so much more modern, and like it could work in this generation. Maybe we could actually make that a tad smaller. And I don't actually feel like you should have fitness in your logo. I feel like taking away the tagline, it still works. I don't actually know if Dumbbell's your second name or not, if you just got Dumbbell because you're doing fitness, but I feel like people would probably read the Dumbbell bit and automatically link it to the fitness side of things anyway. So yeah, here is his original logo, and then just some improvements that I'd make. I'm going to put a poll on the screen now. You should see that in the corner of the screen, where you can vote for the original design or my design. Right, so the second logo that we're involving in this episode is submitted by a guy called Ant, and his full handle is actually Ant Arts, so he's a graphic designer and an artist. One thing that's come to me straight away is that you've not involved any type, or you haven't got like a variation of your logo that has Ant's Arts. I feel like that'd be a smart move, because people are going to look at these two letter A's, it's wonderful, it's a good design, they're going to connect with it, but they're not going to know what kind of brand it is whatsoever. So I feel like we will work on a second variation of your logo that involves some type. I actually love the concept that you've got going on here. One thing I would actually say though is that you've got the three colours going light to dark, but I actually think that the darkest colour should be the section where both letters are overlaying. Yeah, I feel like that should be the darkest point, it would make more sense. I just wanted to see what the logo would look like if these black strokes that you've got going through your logo here, if theirs was a bit thicker. I feel that would stand out a lot more, especially if it was in a smaller scale as well. I do feel like the lines that you've got going through are a little thin. But then again, I don't actually think that you need them lines there. If you've got the three colours breaking up each section, I don't feel as if you need lines to break it up. The colours are breaking it up for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy his black background, because I do love how you've got the light greys on black. I love that colour scheme. And we're going to make our own little version. So let's make a triangle here. Let's round it off. Then if we can make this a darker colour when we overlap it like that. Hopefully you actually get what I mean, having the darkest colour as the section where it's overlapping. And then hopefully you get what I mean as well by you actually don't even need the black lines coming through your logo. You can easily break up each shape just by using colours. So we're going to work on the second part, which I was saying making some type. We're going to pop a rounded rectangle here, and I feel like that could be a separator between the icon and the type very nicely. We just need to find a good typeface now. So we found a type. Height is called Typo Hoop, and I feel like it's actually going to work well when we insert that with your logo, having the rounded edges and the rounded rectangle, and then these letters in this typeface are all rounded. I think it's going to work well. We can actually make the ant bit just a tad thicker as well, just to break up both words without there being a space. That's a clever thing to do. And then yeah, just insert that there. I think that's a good spacing. I think that flows very well. So to improve your logo, I would have a variation where you have some type with the icon, just so people know it's you. Then I would simplify your icon down so you don't actually need black lines, cutting through your shapes. Just work well with some colours and you'll get that same effect without needing the gaps there. I also feel like maybe not just using all greys and involving the colour white into your logo as well, as that will stand out a lot more on black. So yeah, the same as the first design, I'm going to put a poll up in the corner and you can vote for his original logo or the logo that I have created for him, my design. You can vote down below. I'm probably going to keep this score going through the whole series as well, so like we can have like a scoreboard in the corner sooner or later where like one side is my design and the other is the original, to see how many times I can win. So yeah, that was the two logos that I felt were good for me to play around with and good to start the season off with. If you want to submit your logo designs, my email is going to be on the screen now, or you can go through my description. I've got my email there and all my other social medias ways you can contact me. And then obviously just remember that if you are not shown on any episode, just take it as I couldn't really work with your logo. It was probably, good enough and didn't really need any improvements. A big thank you if you are going to submit your logo. It really will help, and hopefully like in future episodes I can have more than 2 designs and do a few. And yeah, that's all we have for this episode. So yeah, cheers. Comment down below if you kind of liked this idea, and make sure you take part in the polls, and see you next time.